Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm with CJ the smart guy. Yeah, it's your boy, and welcome to another session and episode with one of the smartest, can I say, most talented individuals in the space. Yeah, CJ. Shit,
Appreciate
man.
you, man.
Man, in Kenya we say karibu.
Karibu.
Karibu means welcome.
Asante.
Yeah, I see you.
Naelewa.
This
Najua
guy,
kidogo.
yeah, this guy knows his Swahili, man. I bet now your interactions are a bit smoother now that at least the Swahili is flowing.
Sana a lot more.
It's nice.
Uh,
So anyway, with me here is CJ, the smart guy. I'm sure if you're into crypto, taxes, finance, you've interacted with his can I say content with him. He's one of the, as I said earlier, he's one of the best, can I say, sharpest voices in the crypto and taxes space. So yeah, CJ, let me allow you to introduce yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I appreciate the love. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
CJ the smart guy. Coming from America, moved out here to Nairobi, Kenya. Favorite country in the world, Kenya. I'm absolutely loving it out here. The Bitcoin community is strong. The running community is strong. The salsa community is strong. And those are the three things I base my life around. So I'm loving being out here, and thank you for letting me into your country.
We appreciate you, man. It's very rare to find someone who has fell in love with, can I say, the Kenyan culture and the Kenyan space the way you've done.
Yeah.
Man, that's something rare to for me to witness, for me personally to witness. So hey, big up, man, big up to you, big up to you. Well, now where do I start today, CJ? I wanted just you to share your story.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I start with your journey? From you being can I say achieving a CPA, having a CPA in 2020,
Yeah.
moving from corporate America.
Yeah.
Now you're in the crypto space, you're doing taxes, and you actually moved to Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that story, and I didn't get the full story. Now I wanted to hear it. My first question will be, what was that moment where you had a mind shift? What was that aha moment that made you say, now let me let go of all of this, and I'm packing up my things. Let me move out to Kenya in Africa. What
Yes.
what made that mind shift occur?
So originally, I didn't know I was moving to Kenya at first.
Okay.
I uh, I always knew I wanted to travel the world. Um, it was just when I had the capability of doing it.
Yeah.
And so they had an Africa Bitcoin conference here in Nairobi, December 2024,
Yeah.
and I had friends in college who were Kenyan,
Yeah.
and they were fun. They were fun. They were smart, and more than anything, they knew how to communicate without things turning violent,
Yeah.
which I can appreciate. They stood their ground, and it just seemed like healthy black people, which wasn't something I was accustomed to.
Yeah.
In America, like black people, we operate. We might be the coolest. We might get all that attention, but we move very chaotically.
Yeah.
And so to see like black people working as a team, that was great. And so when I came out here in December 2024,
Yeah.
I seen the same thing, not just with my friends, but now I can see it in the entire country. Um, Now, when I first came out here, I thought, oh, every country's better than America. Okay. And so I was like, I had already made my travel plans, traveled to a bunch of other countries. After traveling to all those, I was like, you know what? Kenya's is my number one. Like, I had it right the first time. And so after that, made sure I sold my car, sold half my stuff. And then next you know, I'm out here, I got my apartment, and I don't have any plans on ever going back to America. So,
So you mean you got fascinated by the fact that the cohesion between Kenyans or black people in or the communities here
I
is
think
what
that,
drove you into Kenya, or what specifically are you saying drove you into Kenya?
so even like growing up,
Yeah.
like in high school,
Yeah.
like getting good grades wasn't considered cool. like
No
like
way.
achieving success, like you might get into fights
Yeah.
just by graduating. You might get into fights by raising your hand. People want to bully you to get the right answers, and so you kind of got to somewhat dumb yourself down in order to achieve success in Black America. And I saw when my Kenyan friends came out, they didn't hide their greatness.
Yeah.
They were just like, "Oh no, this is how it's supposed to be."
Yeah.
What do you mean you're not speaking proper English? Why wouldn't you? And it's like, nah, because I don't want people to even think that I get good grades. And so it was just a very different way of thinking.
Yeah.
And so it intrigued me because I was like, wow, they're intellectually, I feel like we're on the same level,
Yeah.
but they showcase their intelligence. Whereas me, I talk ignorant because that's the way that we were taught growing up. And I think some of that comes from like the slave mindset, because if you knew how to read or write,
Yeah.
like that was illegal. You might get lynched for that. And so I think that as generations go on, a lot of times the parents might be like, "Oh no, my kid is stupid." Why? Because she's actually trying to save her kid from getting lynched. But now that that's not even a thing anymore, not to that same extent,
Yeah.
that mindset's still there. And so you try to dumb yourself down to fit in and to not be a target. And when I met my Kenyan friends, they didn't have that. They were just like, no, we're smart. This is how it's supposed to be. We're going to work together. We're going to get good grades.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
This is it.
I can do that. But, I had to move to Kenya. And now I just feel like I can do that 24/7 instead of just, at that in that moment.
So you mean to say that where you're from, or rather in the US, the crabs in the bucket mentality is something very real. It's also real.
I mean, it's very real. I mean, you see it happen every day. You can go back to like Allen Iverson. That's a professional basketball player where, he was targeted when he was in high school. And then when he was able to overcome that, get to college, he gets to the NBA.
Yeah.
His friend got murdered, and he's talking about it on a national platform, and they skipped the part about murder, and they only mention him not going to practice. What he's really saying is, um, we lost the game,
Yeah.
my friend got killed,
Yeah.
and you're talking about practice because he missed practice for a funeral because of his friend.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where the media, all they said was practice, and they portrayed him in a way as being a lazy person who wasn't team oriented. When in reality, he
Damn.
was hurting because his friend got killed.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where in America, it's like it's hard for people to hear your voice.
Yeah.
People will perceive you a certain way. You already have certain expectations put on you before you even birth. And so if you don't stay inside that square, that box, you can easily become a target by a multitude of people, whether it's your own people, whether it's police, whether it's racists, whether it's Hispanics. You can get targeted by anybody. And so to make it out, you typically try to dumb yourself down. And then once you get out of it, then you figure it out. But hey, I here in Kenya, I don't feel like that at all.
No way. So it's like the way you're talking of your experiences, it's like you've you've had a point where you had to shelve yourself, your true self, so that you can survive your environments and navigate through your environments.
All the time. I remember one time.
Damn, bro.
I remember one time
Damn.
it was Mr. Fitz's class. I don't even
Yeah.
forget that one.
Yeah.
Uh, I actually got the highest grade on the test,
Okay.
and he announced it in front of the whole class. And man, I ripped up that paper. I cursed him out in front of everybody. I walked out the class, and then afterwards, I was like, "Man, don't you ever say I got the highest grade." He didn't understand. He was a white guy, and I was like, don't ever do that." And he was like, "Man, I didn't realize." I was like, "Yeah, you trying to get everybody to start asking me all the questions, and people trying to, you know, get answers off of me. You putting way too much attention on me. Don't ever do that again." He was like, "I'll never do that again." And after that, he just started making fun of me in class, and everything was cool. Everything was copacetic after
Your story is so profound, man. That's
that.
so profound.
uh,
What?
Shout outs to Mr. Fitz, man.
Yeah. Hey, what are some of the, can I say, mental barriers that you had to overcome in order for you to make the step that you made to come out here to live your, can I say, your whole life in America behind and come to Africa?
I mean, yeah, mental barriers were just opening up to realizing that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, I come out here, almost everybody speaks three languages.
Yeah.
I speak one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't expect everybody to speak English just because I speak English. No,
Yeah.
you have to learn other cultures, goats. in America, we don't eat goat meat. Like there have been Kenyans who got arrested for slaughtering goats in America. In their
Damn.
mind, they're slaughtering food. In America, they're like, you're killing pets. What you doing? So like, language, food,
Culture.
culture, kilometers versus miles,
Yeah.
Celsius versus Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an infinite amount of differences, and you just have to constantly learn every single day and be humble. And so, what I like being out here is it allows me to actually be humble, because I'm not the best out here,
Yeah.
and I like that. Whether I'm running and get my behind beat by somebody who's running a 4 hour or a 4 kilometer pace,
Yeah.
and I'm over here 5:45 thinking I'm doing something.
Yeah.
It's humbling, and so I like to surround myself by the best. And so when I'm out here, I feel like I'm surrounding myself with the best. And if I can keep up, then I'm happy.
Damn. So it's like this environment is challenging you in a way to better yourself.
Completely in full totality, from emotional intelligence
Yeah.
to intelligence in general
Yeah.
to working as a team. And also, it allows me to see life from a different perspective, a lot more healthier perspective. So I'm not triggered by so many things at once. Because in America, you're so stressed out, you can be triggered at any given time.
Hmm.
So, as an example, out here, I call it organized chaos
Okay.
with the driving. I'll probably never drive out here. It's too much for me.
I never say never out here.
I just don't see it happening. Uh, but in America,
Yeah.
you get cut off like that, or even as many people honk, like somebody might hop out the car, be ready to fight. There might be somebody might shoot you. Somebody might throw a battery in your window because
What?
what you honking at me for? Why you cut me off? Whereas here, people will just they'll have their voice vocalize something
Yeah.
and then keep
They
driving.
get they go on with their day.
Yeah, I'm not used to that at all. I'm
What?
not used to that. You could go on YouTube right now and look road rage in America. You'll see almost every day somebody's doing something crazy.
So you mean to say now you've brought in even the aspect of like the emotional intelligence. Allow me to ask you a question now. If in the sense that it's even Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Mentally, were you? Do you think you are there? You were in the right place when you are in America?
Nah, I never felt like America was my country. Whether it's legally,
Yeah.
back in the day, black people were considered three-fifths of a man.
Yeah.
Whether it's with my great grandpa, who wasn't allowed to play in the Major League Baseball because he wouldn't tell people he was white,
Yeah.
because he was just fair skinned black, like real light skin. Whereas my uncle or my grandpa, who was a Tuskegee Airman, and they tested all of them with syphilis. I never felt like America was for me. Um, it's just where you gonna go, where you gonna go, where you gonna go. And so for years, I just tried to figure out where I was gonna go. So I'd already mapped out I wanted
Yeah.
to travel the world,
Yeah.
and I did that in 2025. And Kenya just happened to be my favorite place. I didn't go into it saying, "Oh, I'm moving to Kenya." I went into it saying I was gonna travel the world, and after traveling the world, I was like, "Oh, Kenya's my favorite place." I liked a few other places too, but Kenya's just my favorite.
I mean, for me, I admire the courage because you actually, can I say, you actually dropped your a role that is like a dream to so many guys dream of working in corporate America. I mean, in Kenya, from Kenya. Yeah, you talk to a Kenyan right now with the current situation, tax situation, they'll tell you, I'd rather leave the country, I want to go work in the diaspora. But for you, it was the opposite.
Mhm.
Like, you left corporate America and you're dealing with all these businessmen, all these individuals, wealth management, taxes, and all. I mean, I'm trying to understand how you were, can I say, navigating your day-to-day life in America, man, before all of this happened.
So I mean, when I was in corporate, which
Yeah.
was like 2013 to 2016,
Yeah.
my day to day was wake up really early,
Yeah.
go to the gym, work out, go to the corporate office
Yeah.
for about 10 hours a day. You're miserable.
Yeah.
And then after the 10 hours, you go home and you have a few hours
Yeah.
to live for yourself.
Okay.
You got plenty of money, so you
Yeah.
can go get whatever food you want. I've got a nice apartment, I had a nice car.
Yeah.
So the material stuff was great.
Yeah.
But 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, You know, if you want to waste 50 hours of your life
Yeah.
every week,
Yeah.
then go to corporate America. But I felt like, two things. I would say my boss,
Yeah.
the CEO of my company,
Yeah.
I'm doing the accounting, so I'm able to see what the money is.
Yeah.
He was making my yearly salary every single day of the year. So I'm
Whoa.
thinking I'm doing well, and he's bringing in my yearly salary every day. So every day he could
Daily.
buy a brand new Mercedes. Every day he can go on vacation. And I'm just like, you're not 365 times more valuable than me.
Yeah.
But I can't prove that. So how do I prove it? Well, let me go ahead and do it on my own. And that was my mindset, is I'm gonna just do it on my own. And then as you start to understand how business works,
Yeah.
you start to see how, well, why is this company doing business in
Yeah.
China? So
Yeah.
like say Apple.
Yeah.
Why is Apple based in America, but Foxconn, who does all the production, is in China?
Yeah.
And you start to understand, oh wait, there's something called like financial arbitrage, where you can go to another country, have the same thing done, and it's way cheaper, and you bring it back and you sell it as a product from over here. And so I was like, wait, this is a thing. And you start researching, and you're like, wait, America's been doing this around the world for like a very long time.
Yeah.
And it started with Black Americans. They was stealing us from Africa and then selling us over here,
Yeah.
making money off of us. We were the labor. So now you start to understand it from just an economic and not an emotional perspective, and you're like, well, if I can make money in America, keep American business, but go other places and have a better quality of life,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do. I think most Kenyans want to get to America because they're trying to get a better quality of life. But if we're looking at quality of life from two different
Yeah.
perspectives, I know my Kenyan friends, they're all making good money.
Yeah.
They got corporate jobs,
Hmm.
they're married, they got children, they got all the things they wanted.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what I was trying to get at. I was trying to have freedom to be able to travel. I wanted to travel. I love being able to work at the beach. I can go to Mombasa, I can go to Diani,
Yeah.
do my work. I'm still working,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm on the beach working. And I'm working for myself. So sometimes the pay might be fantastic and you're baller,
Yeah.
and sometimes you haven't got paid for a while and you feel broke,
Yeah.
but it's mine and I own it. And if I got to sleep on the floor because I'm broke, so be it. But it's mine.
So basically, sovereignty and freedom were very key aspects for you.
Mine's there. That part.
Ah, hey, very nice, very nice. I really admire your mindset, man, because it takes a lot of courage, bro. It takes a lot of courage to do what you did. It takes a lot of courage. So shout out to CJ, man. Yeah, you can check out his work at cjthesmartguy.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we continue the conversation. So CJ, corporate America, I'm still there. Um, there was a new tax. Can I say tax form?
Yeah.
1099
Yeah.
DA.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as maybe research has led me to understand is the 1099 DA actually records. It records transaction in digital assets? All the transactions in digital assets, or what does it do?
So the 1099
Yeah.
DA
Yeah.
is a brand new form
Yeah.
created by the IRS.
Yeah.
IRS is the Internal Revenue Code that does the taxation for American government.
Yeah.
Now, 1099 DA is very brand new,
Yeah.
and what it's doing is recording all your proceeds.
Yeah.
So, say if you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you sell it for $150.
Okay.
The 1099 DA is going to capture your proceeds, which is 150.
Yeah.
The ultimate problem with a lot of these 1099 DAs is it's not capturing how much you bought it for, which is the 100.
Okay.
So most people are getting taxed at $150 gain when it was only $50 gain.
Oh,
And so you're getting a lot of
shit.
people who are going to be overly taxed if they don't know what they're doing. And so they'll hire somebody like me to say, hey, I don't owe $150 worth of capital gains.
To the rest.
Where's the rest of this
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
And the reason why it's not accurate
Mhm.
is because crypto and Bitcoin weren't created for tax purposes. They
Yeah.
weren't created for government.
Yeah.
And so, say if you bought it from Blink
Hmm.
and then you sent it to
Yeah.
Binance,
Yeah.
Binance would not know how much you bought it for on Blink.
Yeah. True.
So, in theory, you would get a 1099 DA from Blink for whatever you sent it off for. And then if you ever decided to sell it on Binance, you would get that. You would get a 1098 for whatever you sold it there.
Okay.
But there will be something missing because Binance doesn't know how much you bought it for on Blink.
So they don't track the original transaction.
It's very difficult, and they haven't figured out how to do that. It's probably a good thing
Yeah.
because people aren't being taxed as harshly as they will be.
Yeah.
Um, Eventually, it's going to be smooth. It's going to be easy,
Yeah.
and then your tax rate's going to go up. So right now, while it's still difficult, there's still a lot of room to legally pay the least amount of taxes as possible.
Yeah.
That's why people hire me. But it's not smooth. It's very complicated. There's probably going to be a lot of audits. Probably going to be a lot of people who get in trouble. Um, but that's what I'm here for is to help people through that process. It's ugly. A 1099 VA is ugly, but I help them through that
uh,
process.
I mean, is it something that guys should actually, can I say, be cautious with in terms of preparation?
Completely. Because if you get, it's like this, if you ignore crypto on the tax return,
Yeah.
especially like they have a box on the
Yeah.
first page now since 2020
Okay.
that basically asks if you've done any cryptocurrency, virtual asset, digital asset trading.
Mm-hmm.
And if you check that box no, but yet you have an exchange and you
Mm-hmm.
did KYC where you give them your social
Yeah.
security number,
Yeah.
the IRS is going to do a cross examination. They're going to know that you lied, and that's considered fraud. And if you
What?
commit fraud, they have an infinite amount of time to audit you.
Yeah.
So they might wait until Bitcoin's at 3 million,
Then they start
and
auditing
they'll
you.
audit you right when you're about to buy your
Damn.
house. And it's like,
Damn.
oh, you got money, you're either going to jail or you're giving us the money. And so my goal is to make sure that none of my clients are in that situation.
Yeah.
And by then, people are gonna be trying to hire me, but I'm like, you should have given me it 20 years ago. And that's that time we're at right now. So I'm
Yeah.
seeing what's gonna happen,
Okay.
and I'm trying to prevent it as much as possible. But it's definitely 100% something that you should be paying attention to, especially if you've KYC'd and or if you're over 10,000 US trades per year.
In
Like,
terms of digital assets.
correct, correct. I mean, if
Damn.
you if you're trading on
Damn.
50, $60,
Yeah.
I don't think the IRS is really looking at you that much. You should still do
Yeah.
your best.
Yeah.
But when you hit that $10,000 mark, they're paying attention for sure.
They're like, we want our
We
money.
want our money. Yeah, I mean it's integrated in a lot
Yeah.
of the infrastructure bills.
um, and you're just handling the clients. I mean, clients as individuals, and what about brokers?
Yeah, so I normally operate with businesses that
Yeah.
accept Bitcoin,
Yeah.
ones that keep Bitcoin on their balance sheet,
Yeah.
and then I also operate with individuals that do like trading and investments. I haven't worked with any of the brokerages yet,
Yeah.
but I do believe that that'll change in the future. I got a few opportunities, a couple calls.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out. But as of right now, it's mostly businesses
And
and
individuals.
individuals.
Ah, nice. So hit up CJ for all your tax issues. Yeah, he's your guy, man. He's your real guy. Um, you've mentioned of Bitcoin, and I know you're a very, can I say, huge enthusiast, very huge enthusiast when it comes to Bitcoin
Yeah,
and its adoption. Would you describe Bitcoin as the new era, as the new digital gold? Can you call it digital gold?
I definitely consider it a form of digital gold.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the evolution of money.
yeah,
I feel as though all money, whether Bitcoin, which is controlled by the people,
yeah,
stable coin, which is controlled by a company, or a central bank digital currency, is controlled by a government.
yeah.
I feel like all three of those combined are leading towards the new version of money, the
Uh huh.
new evolution.
Hmm.
And I believe Bitcoin, since it's controlled by the people, that's the escape from governmental control or um, corporation oversight, privacy issues.
Okay. Um, what do you think? I know you mentioned earlier. You've mentioned that Bitcoin wasn't. Uh, can I say? Can I call it an asset that was meant to be taxed?
Correct. That's not what it was created for.
Yeah, that was not what it's created for.
Yeah,
But knowing, looking at what our governments are doing, they wanna actually be able to tax it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do you think are some of the strategies that maybe guys, the Bitcoiners should employ to ensure that they don't fall on the wrong side of the law?
So you may not be biblical,
Yeah.
but in the Bible,
Yeah.
Jesus didn't like paying taxes either, but he still paid his taxes. So it's one of those things where it's like, if the government says they're going to tax you on your Bitcoin gains,
Yeah.
I'll pay my taxes on it.
Yeah.
However, I also believe in freedom and the fact that Bitcoin is not controlled by a government or a company. If the government says, "Hey, give me your Bitcoin keys,"
Mm-hmm.
it might be time for me to leave that country,
Yeah. True.
because I like the ability to transact peer to peer without somebody controlling. And what I always say is, Bitcoin might not be confiscatable, but humans we are.
Yeah.
So they might not be able to get your Bitcoin, but
They can
they can
get you.
still arrest you. And so for me, I'm like,
That's a
hey,
solid point. That's a
yeah,
solid point.
I'm gonna
That's a
pay my
solid point.
taxes. I'm gonna pay my taxes. I'm
Yeah.
not worried about
Yeah.
that. But I still want the ability to transact, because what I don't want to happen to people is they all have a central bank digital currency, and the government says, "Oh, you're at zero overnight," and now you're basically a slave because you don't have the ability to transact. Um, if you have Bitcoin, you always have the ability to transact peer to peer. And so for me, Bitcoin represents freedom
Yeah.
way more than it does about the monetary value.
So for you, volatility is not that big of an issue.
I care less about volatility. I don't even look at it day to day. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin to me. Um, if the price goes down, I accumulate more. If the price goes up, then I might be able to enjoy the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the ability to transact peer to peer without a middleman, that's what I value the most.
I think, and I now understand your perspective. It's like for you, either way, you lose no value.
Correct.
Yeah. 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 And
Correct.
yeah. I really like how you have that perspective when it comes to money and wealth.
Freedom. Freedom. Hey, Black Americans, we fought for freedom. Hey, hey. They always, so funny. The racists used to always tell us, if you don't
yeah.
like it here, go back to Africa.
What?
And now here I am. Hey,
And we're glad you're here.
hey, sometimes the oppressors are actually intelligent.
Yeah.
And sometimes they might be saying the right thing, even in a negative, evil way.
Yeah.
But when you think about it unemotionally, you're like, you know what? If I don't
Mhm.
like it here, I do have the freedom to leave.
Yeah.
And I come out here and I'm grateful. So, uh,
Hey, powerful words from CJ. I mean, have you ever written a book?
that's in the process.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
cause all this knowledge, we need this knowledge in a book.
yeah.
This guy,
It's on the way. It's
yeah,
on the way, all in due time.
this guy should write us a book. Um, CJ, you're all about community and especially through financial empowerment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, you've toured so many communities, you know. Um, you've gained so much knowledge from impacting communities with your financial, can I say, financial information that actually helps build generational wealth in the long term. How can this knowledge be, how can it be used in a place like Nairobi now, this place that it's somehow new to you,
Yeah.
but it's the same for us, but how can you integrate the knowledge that you have to empower communities on here to actually build wealth?
I think it's universal.
Yeah.
Once you understand the principles, you
Yeah.
can take it anywhere around the world.
Okay.
One is, if you understand what money is and how
Mm-hmm.
it operates, that'll help you out a lot. Once you understand why prices are going up, and when you understand how a certain news event or an event that happens and is put on the news, how that affects the global economy, it's a lot easier to navigate. You can kind of sort of predict when there's going to be crashes. You can kind of sort of predict um, when things are going to happen. And so for me, just taking those principles are big.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming out here, the Bitcoin community is so strong.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing people coming from Nigeria, I'm seeing people coming from Uganda,
Yeah.
I'm seeing people come from all over the world here to Nairobi, because one, you guys are more advanced with mobile money than most of the world. So I know Ethiopia, Kenya, you guys use mobile money. Here it's M-Pesa.
Yeah.
In Ethiopia, they use Telebir. In America, we don't have that.
For real, there's no mobile money.
we do, but it's not as good. So in America, we have like Cash App, PayPal,
Yeah,
Zelle, Venmo.
yeah.
But if you have Cash App and I have Venmo, I can't send you money, and you can't send me money.
Damn.
We have to have the same app. Whereas here, M-Pesa's M-Pesa.
Yes, yeah, M-Pesa is global. Yeah,
So, but national, yeah.
yeah, national. Yeah, sorry.
So like you good. So like, um, you guys are already more advanced when it comes to the money and the
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah,
And so when you add the Bitcoin layer, it's a lot easier for people to adapt to that in America. In America, why do I need Bitcoin? I have the US dollar.
yeah,
And so it's actually harder to educate people in America on Bitcoin because the use case is not as bad. Whereas here, people are like, wait, what? You mean I can accept a digital money from all around the world? I can have a global business
yeah,
instantaneously.
yeah,
And so, like with Afrobit, they're creating these circular economies in Kibera, and I absolutely love that because community to me is the most important thing in Bitcoin.
yeah,
It's not about how much you have; it's about who you know and who you can operate. Because remember, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer transactional system.
yeah. True.
So if you know who else is accepting Bitcoin, you never have to go to a central location.
Yeah,
So even in the Bible, when it says that eventually people will have the mark of the beast and they won't be able to do transactions
without it.
without it,
Yeah,
it's like, well, that means there's some type of governmental control.
yeah.
But if you can have peer to peer without governmental control, you might be able to escape that. And so that's what my view is freedom, not just for now, but for future generations. To me, wealth is freedom, not just some money that the government says is valuable. Because money is not going to keep you dry if it's raining. You can't
Oh,
eat the money.
yeah.
There's no value in money outside of what people perceive the value to be.
Wow,
Forget the perception. I'm going to go directly towards the value freedom.
wow, wow. I loved how you've expressed it in plain words. Like, it's not about how much you have when it comes to Bitcoin. It's about the people you can transact with because
Correct.
it's peer to peer.
Correct.
That's a very nice point.
Right.
Wow,
That's big out here in Nairobi.
wow,
That's what I love.
wow.
Yeah.
How let me take you back a little bit. What do you mean that it's hard to actually orange peel guys in America?
Yeah. So, for instance, I I did my first tour solo. I just
Hmm.
traveled to different states.
Yeah,
The next two, I was with Miss Naja Roberts. Shout out to Naja Roberts.
yeah,
We traveled to maybe 30 states back to back years. And teaching people about Bitcoin, most people in America are only thinking about the monetary value. They're looking at it in terms of, okay, I bought it at 4,000, it went up to 30. Whoo, we're rich. We're going to sell it, and we're going to have more fiat.
yeah,
It's hard to get them off of the fiat mindset because the U.S. dollar has historically been the global like world reserve asset.
yeah, yeah. True.
So the whole world is like, we want U.S. dollars. We want US dollars. Even Kenya has U.S. dollars in the treasury.
Yeah,
So if everybody's focused on that, but then you learn what money works, and you start saying, well, wait, their goal for inflation is 2%. So their goal is to steal 2% of my accumulated time and money, energy every year. 2% is their goal. And so right now, if it's at 4 or 5%, they're stealing people's accumulated time and energy a lot. And so if you're trying to tell people, hey, the reason why prices are going up is because the government's stealing from you, they're going to be like, what do you mean the government's stealing from me? I still have 100,000 US dollars in my account. They didn't steal money from me. They're looking at the monetary, the numeric number.
yeah,
They're not looking at the purchasing power. But if you go to somebody in Zimbabwe or you go to somebody in Sierra Leone,
yeah.
they're going to say, oh, our money used to be able to buy this and now it's worthless. So people here have easier people to identify with and understand, oh, Zimbabwe, their currency is almost worthless now. The Iranian is almost worthless now.
So now, hearing what you're saying, um, can I actually say that it's like most people don't understand how money works?
95% of people around the world don't understand how money works. They don't get it. The difference is that in America, most people they feel as though they don't have to learn
Yeah,
because they've got the world reserve asset. Whereas here in Nairobi, people feel like they have to learn because what's going on.
yeah,
They saw what happened in Zimbabwe. They see what happens in Sierra Leone. In America, they don't show that. They don't know. All they know is the US dollar. You can go running around the world and you're rich. They don't teach you why it happens, because most of the time America's the one that's causing it.
I'm shocked because when you say that most people in most 95% of the people don't understand how money works. I mean, America has been through an economic depression. I mean, there was the 2008 financial crisis.
Yeah,
I thought conversation around how money works would be inevitable, but it's like this conversation has not been had in major rooms or in major platforms or by so many people. What do you think needs to happen for this conversation to be had?
I think those conversations happen behind closed doors.
Okay.
If you read the Bitcoin white paper,
Yeah.
it was clearly made in response to the financial crash in '08,
Yeah.
'09.
Yeah.
Um, I know a lot of people, including myself,
Yeah.
my peer Justin Redrick, um, we felt that crash, and so we were talking about it. We were trying to figure it out. Bitcoin was presented in response to that, but that takes time. I don't think the older generation or people that weren't seeking, I think a lot of people just accept things for what they are. They stop making questions. They stop guessing things because they didn't choose freedom.
Yeah.
They chose money.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're choosing a corporate job, you're choosing to work for somebody else on a consistent basis, you're just going to accept whatever they say over and over and over and over and over and over again, as long as they're paying you
Yeah.
and you're able to eat. But when you are on your own, you have to pay attention to everything, or else you're gonna get devoured. So for me, it was like, how do I get out of this? And I mentioned Justin.
Yeah.
Justin created a nonprofit called the Bitcoin Transformation Community, where we go inside of prisons and we educate the inmates, both virtually and in person, on how money works and on
Whoa.
Bitcoin. And I'll tell you this: in America, the inmates, they understand Bitcoin a whole lot more than the people that are out, because they understand alternative currencies. They understand, hey, I'm used to selling 2 cigarettes for these, for some chips to eat.
Yeah.
So they understand an alternative currency that's not based in the U.S. dollar. Whereas everybody else in America, most just use the U.S. dollar,
Yeah.
and most have never even thought to use other people's currencies, because even when they travel, if you bring U.S. dollars to Kenya, I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, we don't accept U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
They're going
True.
to be like, oh, thank
US,
you.
in fact, they're very much receptive
Yeah.
of the US dollar.
So they don't even have to think outside the box
Yeah.
because everybody conforms to them.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, nah, let me see how the rest of the world works. And when you see how Bitcoin operates, where anywhere around the world I can take my Bitcoin and transact, I don't have to worry about, I have 100,000 US bills in the airport, they arrest me. I have a
Hmm.
bunch of gold bricks,
Yeah.
they arrest me.
Yeah.
Um, I just have, I don't even have to bring a USB. All I have to do is just know my C phrase
Yes,
up
it
here,
phrase. Yeah.
and they can't stop me. They can't stop. They can't stop. What they're gonna do? Like, you're mad because I have some type of code in the sky
Yeah.
that you only have access to if you have a password. Like, it becomes like, that's why it's freedom money.
Sovereignty. You
Yeah,
keep bringing up the issue of sovereignty. Yeah. 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 Um. How can you say that guys in Nairobi can bridge the wealth gap using your some of the knowledge that you have?
I think doing exactly what y'all already doing.
Yeah.
Make sure you come to the core,
Yeah.
get the education on Bitcoin,
God damn.
Bitcoin data. Make sure you do that. Find your community, Afrobit.
Yeah.
If you're in the arts, Satoshi 53.
Hmm.
If you a young mom, you got Bitcoin babies.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, is just find your community. Um, what I love about Nairobi is people are building their own communities, and Bitcoin is for everybody. You
Yeah.
just have to find the community that you most fit in with. Um, and I love that out here. People are building on it. And so if I were to say to anybody, it's just find your community. Just find it. Once you find it, you grow with it. Now you know who to transact with.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, oh, I only have 2,000 satoshis, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep accumulating, and eventually, when freedom, starts to become a real thing, when everybody's on a central bank digital currency, there's no physical shillings anymore. Everything is digital.
Yeah.
How are you going to transact peer to peer? How are you going to do any transactions? But you need to know, oh, I remember this person from Satoshi 53. They sold artwork. Let me see if they still accept Bitcoin. That's how that works. That might not be effective for 20 years, but when it happens, it happens.
That's a very, it's the simplest but the most effective way.
Correct.
Yeah. I think you've put it. Yeah, it's the simplest and the most effective way. Uh, I mean, with communities, what actually, I haven't asked you this question. What actually drove you to start educating the communities? Was it you saw there was a gap in the information
Hmm.
that the guys have? Ama was it out of conviction of your own self that I have this information and I really need to impact someone's life with it? What actually drove you to lean towards educating the communities? Because I've been through your, can I say your, can I call it a podcast on YouTube?
Hmm. Yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah, bro, you have very nice sentiments and it's like it's just pure education. That's why
Appreciate you, man.
that's why I asked you,
Yeah.
when is the book coming out?
Oh, it's on the way. Trust me, it's on the way. It's on the way.
So what actually drove you to lean towards educating communities?
So one, my mom was a teacher, so she always made sure I understood math at a young age. I've loved teaching, so that's just an internal passion.
Wow.
Um, and then I also saw my parents struggle after that 08, 09 crash. They struggled even
Whoa.
before that during 9/11 in 2011.
Yeah.
So I've seen personally the ups and downs,
Yeah.
having money,
Hmm.
going to a private school, getting the best education,
Yeah.
not having money, dealing with enormous fights at schools that make national news and
Yeah.
friends getting murdered.
Yeah.
So you see both sides,
Hmm.
and all you want to do is help your people. But then I think also the people who helped me, right? Shout out to Nipsey Hussle, who created Vector 90. He showed us the blueprint on how to build your businesses from nothing.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins, who provided a lot more details on the business making and shows us how to escape the corporate plantation.
Hmm.
Um, Shout outs to my professor, Dr. Perkins, who he helped me have a study group to help me get my CPA license. And shout outs to Lamar Wilson, who created the Black Bitcoin Billionaires that taught us about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All four of them helped me in ways where I didn't have to just pay up front.
Hmm.
It was, hey, I'm gonna provide a platform, and if you want it bad enough, you're gonna grow. And so I learned from all four of them, and I was like, you know what, I can build my own platform, and can help the next people out behind me because I didn't know this stuff, and they showed me the way, so let me do the same. It's just reciprocation. Um, and so I know Nipsey. One of the things that he was always telling us to do is to connect LA to Silicon Valley
Yeah.
to Africa, because his family's from
It
Eritrea.
reached, yeah.
Yeah, so here I am. It's technically not Eritrea, but it's still East Africa.
Okay.
And so my goal, I'm connecting LA to Silicon Valley, which is basically Bitcoin, to Africa. So I'm living through the vision that he had for us, Black
Damn.
Bitcoin Billionaires. I'm living through that. I already quit the corporate plantation, so I'm living through Dr. Boyce Watkins. So all my mentors provided a vision,
Yeah.
and I'm living it out. And so all I want to do is provide a vision for the next, so I can help the next person out because I've seen the ups and downs. I know the difference.
So for you, it's like you're paying homage.
Correct.
Damn.
24/7, 7 days a week.
Damn. 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 That's what can I say, Bitcoiners are all about.
Correct.
Impact.
Correct.
Yeah. So shout out to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to what you're doing. Hearing the way you speak, you are, can I say, you're an entrepreneur who values your grind.
All the time.
I can say that hearing the way you speak, the way you carry out yourself, the way you present your, can I say, your work,
Yeah.
even on social media, you really value your grind. So you've built smart guy taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smart guy taxes. Yeah, I'll put the link on the description. While you've ran multiple businesses,
Yeah.
while also helping out individuals, what are some of the habits that helped you can I say navigate to where you are, to until where you are?
Yeah. So I learned those habits when I was struggling.
Uh-huh.
So when I quit my corporate job,
Yeah.
in my mind,
Yeah.
I was going to pass the CPA exam in 1 year, and then I was going to build my business within 2 or 3 years. I was going to be balling,
Yeah.
and that's how I envisioned it. And after my first year, I didn't pass not one of the four exams. And so
Whoa.
my ego was hurt. I was like, what do you mean I failed my first two? I don't fail. Like, what is this? And so I had to really look at my own body works.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things I started doing, I would wake up at 4 in the morning, and then I would study, and then I would go to sleep at noon, and then I would study again when I woke up. So instead of me getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep at night,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually getting like 4 hours study, and then go to sleep 4 hours. Like instead of it being like a full 24 hours, I was breaking into 12-hour days.
Okay.
And so I would sleep for 4 hours and then study because I study better when I wake up.
Yeah.
But not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out your own body and how
Yeah.
you operate best for you. And for me, it was just let me wake up, get right to studying, handle the rest of my day, go back to sleep. And so I'd have two really good study sessions a day. I was still getting the amount of hours I had for sleep.
Yeah.
It was just broken up over two sessions of 12 instead of one for 24. And so to this day, if I get really stressed out or have a lot of work to do, I'll just have 12-hour sessions. And then, of course, exercising, eating right to get rid of sugar.
Yeah.
Man, that was hard. I like candy, y'all. So I had to get rid of a lot of sugar during my studying because that make you crash. And then, like, even it's weird because I never thought about affirmations. I'm not one of those people who's like, you got to say it to believe it.
Yeah.
But man, during my CPA exam,
Yeah.
I look in the mirror and I would say, I love studying and I could study for a long time. And I would say it over and over and over again until the times where I'm actually studying. And I'd be over here just yawning like, I hate this. I'd be like, no, you can study for a long time and you love studying. And so, like, words of affirmations actually work.
Yeah.
Um, I've never been a huge proponent in that, but I can tell you right now it works. So those are some of the habits: sleeping, knowing yourself, exercising, eating, and the discipline to not go out every time you're invited to go somewhere. That was hard also because everybody's like, "Hey, CJ, let's go out." I gotta study, man.
You lame.
Hey, and for 4 years, that's all it was a bunch of telling people no. And then you find out who's really your friends because after 4 years of rejection,
Yeah.
a lot of people just disappear.
Yeah.
So
True.
yeah, I say those were the habits that I had to mostly gain.
What was your biggest sacrifice during this period?
Oh, my ego. Oh, that's no doubt.
Damn.
That's no doubt. Everybody wants to go and party, and you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
And then like money disappeared. You understand? I was working in corporate America.
Yeah.
I was making very decent money for 20 young black men,
Yeah.
like 25, 26.
Okay.
I was making good money, and then to quit, it's like this. If every if every week
Mm-hmm.
I was averaging $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the next 6 months total, you make 400. That's the
Oh.
fall off. That's the fall off. That's the cost of trying to do it
Damn.
on your own. Freedom, hey, freedom sounds good,
Yeah.
but freedom comes responsibility.
And comes
So
with a price.
it comes with a huge price. So in 6 months, I made a total of $400, and I was so happy when I made it. So my first amount was 250. And I was like, wow, I made $250. I was celebrating because I was happy, but it took 4 months to get my first $250. It took 6 months to get my first 600. So it's like my first 400. So it's like if you're used to making 1,000 a week, and it takes you 6 months to make $400. Your fall off is huge. You can't go out everywhere you want to go out. If a young lady wants to go on a date, you can't afford a date. You know,
So you practically had to downgrade your life.
my entire life got downgraded
Whoa.
in full totality. I was sleeping on the
Whoa.
floor for a long time. I have no apartment. I couldn't afford an apartment. I was sleeping on the floor. My car break down. I'm walking places, but I'm free.
Damn,
I'm free.
bro.
I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Yeah, but freedom comes with responsibilities. Yeah,
Not many will ever get the chance to hear that side of to see that side of you. People will see CJ smart guy taxes. You're like, CJ is a baller. CJ has been, bro.
I got
What?
pictures where you can see my ribs because I was skinny because I didn't have money to eat. Like I got pictures. I don't show them because I was skinny. But yeah, no, I got pictures. You can see my ribs. I was skinny. I was hungry. I was eating croutons. I don't know if y'all know what croutons are in Kenya, but those are like think about mandazis.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, picture just eating mandazis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day because you can't afford them boozy, you can't afford chicken, you can't afford
Damn.
real food. You eating bread, dry bread every single day because you don't have money to eat. But it took that in order to get here. So I would do it again if I had to. but I don't have to. I did
Yeah,
it.
it's already done,
Yeah,
done and dusted. But congratulations, man, it paid off.
took four long years of struggle to get to where I thought it was gonna be after 1 year.
Whoa.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be 1 year. It took four. So my ego was humbled, very very viciously.
At this point, at this period, was there a mental shift on how you saw life in general, on how you saw money, on how you saw?
Completely. And I think that was one thing I started. I think I started having friction
Yeah,
with a lot of people in my own community because now I'm understanding how money works
yeah,
and I'm trying to show them freedom. And just like in the Bible, when Moses was trying to, when he freed the Hebrew slaves from
yeah,
Egypt,
yeah,
once they had to go through and walk and deal with the wilderness, a lot of them was asking to go back to slavery.
yeah,
The same thing was happening in my community. I'm showing them, hey, this is how Bitcoin works. This is this. And like, hey, this is too complicated. I'm gonna just stick to what I'm used to. So after a while, you might be trying to free everybody,
yeah,
but you can't save everybody. Jesus can save everybody. So who am I to try to save everybody? So you try, but then you can't be so emotionally attached to where you bring yourself down.
yeah,
Um, and so that was one of the things I had to learn, and not just learn it, but digest it, because I'm over here trying to save all my community,
yeah.
and some of them were looking at me like I was the enemy, and it's like I'm not the enemy. Moses literally freed you from slavery, and you were mad at him because it was difficult, and you wanted to go back to slavery. It's the same thing that happened a lot of times in my community, and once you see that in real life, you're like, you know what?
Let me do
Maybe
me.
just maybe just save the people that want to be saved,
Yeah,
and leave the rest of y'all alone. Now I'm in Africa. I'm in Kenya. Now I'm like, hey, people here love the information.
yeah.
They're like, oh, nobody's trying to attack me out here. Everybody's like, oh, you know something? Teach us. In America, they're like, nah, we don't trust you. We don't believe you. And I didn't need all that energy.
Damn, damn. That's a whole perspective I didn't have about you, bro.
Hey, that's why we
Hey,
here.
hey, hey. So, hey, damn. Um, how can I phrase this? Now that you've achieved your CPA, we are that period where you've achieved it. How was it? How was it now for now starting out for or rather, let me just ask this: why smart guy taxes? How did it come about?
Man, that's a
The
great
idea,
question.
yeah, the idea. Why smart guy taxes?
So, Vector 90
Yeah,
was an entrepreneur hub that Nipsey had created.
yeah,
And one of, along with the goal of connecting LA to Silicon Valley
yeah.
to East Africa, the
Mm-hmm.
other goal that he had for us was to make being smart cool.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, like being smart gets you killed, it gets you beat up,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
puts a huge target on you. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to change that narrative to where being smart is cool. You can look at our TV shows. There was
mm,
a show called Smart Guy, and they used to get bullied. They used to, give them wedgies, stuck them in a locker. You got Steve Urkel, who used to
yeah.
wear the overalls,
The
and everybody used to
yeah,
laugh
and
at
the
him.
suspenders,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we've always laughed at the smart kids.
and we call them nuts.
We called them nerds. And here I
Yeah,
am.
nah,
I'm
yeah,
identifying with them.
yeah.
But what you're not gonna do is stuff me in a locker. What you're not gonna do
It's bullying
is
me.
bully me.
Yeah, true.
And so Nipsey felt the same way. He was a high school dropout,
Yeah,
but he wanted being a professor in college. So it's one of those things where it's like, why can't we make intelligence cool?
yeah,
And so that was one of his goals. And so through some of my traumas of having to fight just for being smart,
yeah,
I was like, you know what? I need to listen to what he's saying. Um, and one of the things that he got with his name was Nipsey Hussle came from a wordsmith called Nipsey Russell,
yeah.
who was an older guy, but he was really good with like words.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nipsey was like, okay, but I'm more of a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just took Nipsey Russell, turned into Nipsey Hussle.
Hustle. Yeah,
The different generations can now identify with you because of nostalgia.
yeah,
And so they were like, well, what do you identify with? And I was like, well, everybody called me the smart homie, the smart friend.
yeah.
And then I was like, Smart Guy. Oh, from the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same exact nostalgia type moment.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, Smart Guy. And they're like, that's your name. And I was
That's
like,
your
but my
name.
name's not TJ. Mine's CJ.
Yeah.
CJ the Smart Guy.
Damn.
And then what he did is he built the
Mm-hmm.
marathon clothing, the
Yeah.
marathon cultivation, the
Mm-hmm.
marathon continues TMC.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I'm gonna do the same thing. Smart Guy clothing, Smart Guy communications, Smart
Mm-hmm.
Guy, all those things.
Yeah.
Taxes just happen to be part of the consulting side.
Okay.
Um, and so I just took his business model, the way he put his name, re-engineered it for myself, and it worked. Here we are traveling around the world. Smart Guy is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, man.
Thank
Congratulations, by the way.
you.
How long has it been since you started it?
I started my company as soon as I left my corporate job in 2016. When my first company was called I Am Who I Am.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of the education on Instagram. So as I was learning the taxes,
Yeah.
I was creating videos to teach people. If you watch those old videos, I didn't have the communication skills that I obtained later on.
Yeah.
So some of them are hard for me to watch. I'm like, ooh,
It's cringe.
I was a beginner back then. But it gave me all the tools I needed to be where I'm at now. And to be honest with you, some of the information I put back then was the most valuable information. Is that people just couldn't consume it
Yeah.
because it wasn't presented in a consumable way.
Yeah.
But that information was probably some of the best information I gave out. My best video on Bitcoin
Mm-hmm.
came out in 2017, and I think to this day it has like 27 views. But it was my best video. It was my best video I ever did.
Whoa.
But it only got
Whoa.
27 views. Like I know every time I go back to Facebook, I'm like, dang, people still not watching this, and I'm like, this is great. This is great. I predicted the up, I predicted the down, I
Uh-huh.
predicted everything in total time. The second best video I did was on a radio station right before COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and the person who recorded it died, so it never even came out.
Damn.
So my two best videos never even came out.
Damn,
But like,
bro.
hey, I work out on a daily basis, and here we are.
Yeah. Here we are.
Uh,
Here we are. I mean, for you, when you're starting out, did you have a team? Ama you,
huh,
you,
huh,
you
team. I was the team. What? I have a podcast episode called "How to the Process of Reengineering a Process,"
Mm-hmm.
where basically first I have to learn information,
Yeah.
then I have to record the information,
Mm-hmm.
then I have to market the information, then I have to create a financial structure around it, like actual business,
Yeah.
and then once I do that, then I have to actually to do the work itself. Once I do the work, then I have to actually make sure I actually get paid,
Yeah.
and then I have to ask for feedback to figure out how to make it better.
Yeah.
That's 7 steps
Mm-hmm.
for one invoice. You have to do each one of those. I don't have a team. I am the team. So I have to do every single one of those on my own. And it took a long time to figure it out. Now I have a team,
Yeah.
but no, I didn't have a team when I started. I didn't have anything. That money that I saved up from corporate America,
Yeah.
every penny of it was gone within 2 years. It took me 4 years to get my license. So
Damn.
how do I operate those last 2 years? I had to figure it out. Sleep on the floor. You figure it out. A team? Nah, nah. I had some really good people who helped out when they could,
Yeah.
but to call it a team, nah. It was me. I was the team. I was waking up at 4 in the morning. I was the one learning the information. I'm the one recording. I'm the one that's editing. I'm the one that's putting on social media. I'm the
Whoa.
one answering all the DMs. I'm the one doing the consultations, doing the work. When you're on your own, you're on your own.
On your
Freedom
own. Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
It comes a lot of responsibility. It's not just all this love story. No. It was struggles. It was a lot of
Freedom.
struggles.
Freedom comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Correct.
That's a tagline.
That part.
That's yeah. That's a
Yeah.
tagline. Damn. Damn.
A lot of responsibility.
So how long did it take for you to actually form a team?
So I started to form a team, I would say, in 2021. So business got really good in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
After COVID, when COVID first started,
Mm-hmm.
they had the EIDL, they had the PPP,
Mm-hmm.
they had the stimulus check.
Mm-hmm.
That allowed me to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
That allowed me to invest into my clothing line, Smart Guy Clothing.
Yeah.
And then the clothing did so well, I put all that profits into the tax company, and the tax company started blowing up. There was a group called the Black Bitcoin Billionaires
Yeah.
that was also blowing up into 2020. um, and I became like the the local CPA for that because I got my license in June.
Yeah.
BBB blew up around December,
Mm-hmm.
and my business took off. So 2021, the money was flowing, but I didn't know how to hire people.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you learn to train people. And if you're training somebody, you're spending your time, money, and
And
energy
energy. Yeah.
just to train them.
Yeah.
In your mind, you hire somebody and the work is just done.
Yeah.
But in reality, you're spending your time, money, and energy to train them. I didn't have any I didn't have any knowledge of how to do this.
Yeah.
And so I trained this guy, Alexander Franklin. He did a great job, great work.
Yeah.
But eventually he had like a family, he had a child, and he was like, hey, it's more profitable for me to do this on my own. And so he left, created his own, and I was left with nobody. So I came back out here to Kenya. I've hired 4 people out here. I got one in Colombia, and so I have a full team now. But I won't. I'll say I didn't have a full team until 2026. Most of this has been on my own. Now it feels great to have a team now, but like, nah, most of it's been on my own.
You mean
Nobody's telling me to wake up.
you mean you've navigated a lot on your own?
Correct. Nobody's telling me what to do. Nobody's telling me how to do it. I have mentors, but a lot of times my mentors aren't even. We're not talking on the phone.
Okay.
Like Nipsey, I never had his phone number.
Mm-hmm.
I just know Vector 90. If I go up there, and maybe he might be up there,
Yeah.
I might be able to get a snippet.
Okay.
You know, he followed me on Twitter. I might be able to get a response on a DM. Maybe.
Maybe.
You know, Dr. Boyce Watkins. You know, I I might be able to get a response. But other than that, you have to go to where they are at. And then once you go to where they're at, you provide them some type of value.
Yeah.
And then they'll allow, oh, you know what you're talking about. Hey, let's talk a little bit. But these guys were doing well. They don't need me.
Yeah.
Lamar Wilson, he had something called Coinda on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and he might go live, but Lamar's been in Bitcoin since like 2012.
Yeah.
He's in the head. He's not going to give access to everybody.
True.
So you have to provide value.
First.
And
Yeah.
so if I'm learning about, Lamar Wilson in 2017, it wasn't until 2020 that we started like really interacting. So it took 3 years of paying attention, setting myself up to place myself in that. With Nipsey, I was listening to him since '08. We had one conversation in like 2014, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't until like 2018 that I was even remotely considered, oh, he's providing some value. And I didn't have my license yet. So it wasn't even like, oh, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
It was more like, okay, keep studying, and eventually, you know, eventually we might need you.
Yeah.
It sucked because I passed my exam February 2019,
Yeah.
and he died in March 2019.
Yeah.
So I never even had the chance to show him the value.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm still providing it through, the different avenues and what
Yeah.
I'm doing. I'm in Africa. I'm in East Africa. CJ the SmartGuy, making intelligence cool. So I'm still living through that vision.
Yeah.
But no, most of this has been done on my own, but I've had great mentors that I chose out from a distance where I was like, okay, I can follow these pathways. But it wasn't like they was hitting me up. It wasn't like they provided me any money. No, no, no. I listened to advice. I listened to the interviews. I'm a the game.
I mean, to drive all this. Can I say this empire? It's like it's an empire you're building.
Hmm.
I mean, to drive it forward with your vision, with your prowess, bro. What kind of mental capacity were you operating on? Doing all these things by yourself. Was it easy or
Easy.
hey, because you're saying you're doing this, you're doing this. It's like for you it comes as second nature, but maybe for someone who is outside looking at what you do, they think that it's easy to doing what CJ is doing,
Yeah.
bro. So I'm asking, what sort of mental capacity were you operating on? Were there days where you were like, ah man, fuck all this, shut this shit down, I'm out of here, or
All the time. All the time. Studying for that CPA exam is terrible. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Like that exam was terrible.
yeah,
Like it was terrible. And the thing is, it's hard to discipline yourself to study,
yeah,
but then once you start learning certain things, then it makes you angry. So I remember this one time in specific. Actually got angry at the test. I got
Mhm.
angry at what I was reading.
Okay.
So, for instance, there's a rule in
Mhm.
America that you can't claim a child that doesn't live with you.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, why would they make that rule? And so you start researching. And so you may not remember, but back in the day when I was young, they used to always have these commercials about African kids
Mhm.
with the flies all over them, with the big bellies.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
yeah,
poor.
yeah.
$2 you could feed a kid for a week. And then you find out that there were Americans who were sending maybe $20, and then they were claiming those kids on their taxes because they're saying that they're providing them support for X amount. So they might be claiming 10 kids on their taxes they never met. They're claiming kids in Africa they never met before on their
Damn.
taxes, so they don't have to pay taxes. And I'm like, wait, what? And so I'm angry because I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to donate some money because I was like, oh, looks like he's hungry. My mom was like, no, it's a scam. And I was mad at my mom. And then now later on, finding out, oh, not only was it a scam, this was like all the way up to the tax. This was everybody was doing this.
It
So
was
you
a
may have had
scheme.
somebody in America claiming you on their taxes. I
Damn,
mean, I'm just
bro.
saying that's what they were doing. And so I was angry at the test
Yeah.
because you're like, that's what y'all were doing. That's what y'all were doing. Like it makes you angry. And then you tell black people this, and they're like, really? How many of them can I claim? You know what I mean? And it's like, no, you're not understanding. You were paying a higher rate of taxes than them
Yeah.
because they figured out a way to not pay taxes.
Yeah.
So you're struggling and they're not. They're legally not paying taxes. And then by the time you figure out how to not do it, they've changed that rule and they've made another rule. So I'm just paying attention to all the rules that are changing on a consistent basis. I tell people, and this sounds foreign to them because they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm just like, that's the new rule. They just created this last year. Trump did a whole bunch of changes the first time he was president and again. I took advantage of all the rules. But when you start figuring out, man, these rules are actually built in racism,
Yeah.
it makes you upset. So you have to force yourself to study, and then you have to force yourself to have the emotions to be able to still learn it without emotionally getting too attached. And then the financial side, like each one of these tests was like 250 US, and then the study
Ooh.
material was like 5,000, and then I'm broke because I'm not working.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was hard. It was terrible.
Bro,
Yeah,
I can only imagine. I cannot I don't know what you went through. I can only
it's
imagine.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I have a podcast episode called My Journey, My CPA Journey,
Yeah.
and I document all of this. And I don't even like listening to it because it brings back trauma. But like, if you're trying to study for your CPA exam,
Yeah.
check out my CPA Journey for sure.
Yeah, I'll share that link on the description. Hey bro, I think it's worth the watch.
Yeah. Oh, especially if
Yeah.
you're trying to go through a process,
Yeah.
it's definitely worth it because if you're not seriously about that life, like seriously trying to do it,
Mhm.
just quit. Just quit. Entrepreneur. If you need somebody to tell you to do entrepreneurship, you need somebody to tell you to study for the CPA exam.
Yeah.
Don't even do it because you're not gonna make it through. You have to have
That self
the burning
drive.
desire to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Mine came, I think, just with my financial situation growing up.
Uh-huh.
There were like 2 years when my dad was making a really, 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 really lot of money,
Hmm.
and I saw life as a rich kid, and then that money was gone so quick, and I saw money being broke. And so to see both lives, in my mind, I'm never going to be where I'm at until I'm back at that level my dad was at.
Yeah.
I went to an amazing private school with some of the best education,
Hmm.
and then within 2 years, I'm at a school where we're making national rules for fights. Police are setting us up. You know, police are raping girls. Teachers are raping
What?
girls. Like to go from that to this, I don't ever feel comfortable until I'm back to where I want to be. And so for me, a lot of the
Yeah.
drive comes from that fight or flight. Um, and then I think the ability to do it. I saw Nipsey Hussle having all these businesses.
Hmm.
We're from the similar area in LA,
Hmm.
so it's like, man, if he could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm still like, hey, even though he's not here, I'm watching his big brother carry on his message. Look, if that can be done, I'm gonna continue to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just re-engineer it for what I'm doing. I'm not a rapper. I'm an accountant,
Yeah.
but I can re-engineer his process and make it my own. And I do that to this day.
Nice. So you draw some of your inspiration from him.
Oh, a lot,
A lot.
a lot between Nipsey and Sandra Bland.
Hmm.
I think that's where most of my inspiration came from,
Hmm.
pretty much in totality, outside of the own internal drive.
Yeah.
To see that, I was like, okay, yeah, I got to go do that. Rest in peace to both of them.
Nothing left to add there. I can't add anymore. Moving on. You've spoken of your entrepreneurial journey. What are some of the traps and yeah, start with the tax traps and some of the traps that maybe you faced that you would, if you were given a second chance to do it again, ama if you were to start another business, you would avoid.
Yeah, so I am who I am was my first company. I didn't
Yeah,
know what I was doing.
yeah.
Like, right, I just had a vision. I was
Mm.
trying to connect like-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to educate people on things. Some of the tax traps,
Yeah,
I didn't fall into any of those.
yeah.
But some of the tax traps, not checking that box off you're in crypto, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, B, a lot of people do a lot of wrong things with taxes, because they're just trying to get some money. But evasion and fraud is forever,
Yeah,
so they'll wait until you come up and then audit you. So to
yeah.
me, it's not even worth that. But I didn't fall any tax traps.
Mm-hmm.
I think financial traps. There's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
We could be here forever on all of those.
Yeah.
I think the first one is people just don't understand money, and so they overvalue money.
Mm-hmm.
I personally really could care less about money. Um, I understand it, so I educate myself on it. Um, but I think a lot of people they put money on a pedestal,
Yeah.
because they never had it,
Yeah.
and they envision their dream, and they think the only way to get there is by having a lot of money,
Yeah.
and they overvalue money.
Mm-hmm.
But once you understand money, you don't actually value it nearly as much. Um,
True.
and so I think just educating yourself on money and not putting it on a pedestal. Money, paper,
Mm-hmm.
is not valuable.
Yeah.
If you're hungry, you can't eat
Eat your paper.
your paper.
Yeah.
Now, people will say, yeah, but you can use the money to buy food. Yeah, the food is what's
Is
valuable.
yeah.
But if you have land and you're growing your own food, you don't need the money.
Yeah.
The land becomes the means of you getting the food.
The food.
The food is what's valuable,
Yeah.
not the money. So
Mm-hmm.
once you can understand that, you say a lot of times, I forget the middleman and we go
Yeah.
directly to the value itself.
Yeah.
And that is what I try to do at all times is forget the middle person. The government's printing money. That's the middle
That's the middle
person to the
person.
real value. Just go directly just go directly to the value. Where's the value at?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think I don't have any other question
Yeah.
pertaining that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's why we're
Hey,
here. We learning from
hey,
each other.
hey, that's awesome, bro. You're a teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Shout out to my mom.
yeah, you're a teacher, man. Man, you're a teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you break down a very, can I say, complex and not well understood topic into a very simple but significant definition. So
Yeah.
to me, it's I don't regret having you here, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
I don't regret having you here. I'm slowly winding up. I think I'm on my second last question, which is to ask you. Now that we've spoken of structure and you've talked of how you built your company, is there a way you've documented your process of how you built your companies?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You see it all throughout. Whether it's you can search CJ the Smart Guy across any major platform.
Yeah, we can see it.
You can see it. Go on YouTube. You'll see the original videos.
Yeah,
You'll see the later ones. Go on Instagram. CJ the Smart Guy. No extra spaces,
yeah,
letters, numbers. Those are fake pages.
yeah,
But if you see that, you can go. You can scroll all the way down, all the way back to 2020, and
mm-hmm,
you can see the whole process of how CJ the Smart Guy came out.
yeah,
But if you actually go to Smart Guy Communications on Instagram,
yeah.
you can go all the way back to like 2013 and see. I mean, the very beginning videos. Camera's terrible. I'm saying and like the word.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad. I remember I had a computer, right? And if you open the laptop all the way up,
Mm.
the screen would turn black. So what I would have to do is I'd have to keep the screen at a certain level, and I would have to type like this, right? And I would go on videos, and I would have to turn the laptop like this so the camera would see me, and I would try to make it seem like you know, I could
Damn,
tell.
bro.
And I remember some of those I looked and I know what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if the public, I don't know if you could tell the public, but I know I'm laughing. I did that. It was an interview with Courtney Arrington, another CPA.
Yeah.
Bro, I look at that video and I'm like, oh, I know for sure my computer was facing this way just to try to get the right angle. Every once in a while, the camera would catch the bottom of the laptop. Like, what?
Bro,
It's
it
there.
was a whole
It
process.
was a whole process. Now I'm like, okay, make sure you got a camera, make sure you got this.
Yeah.
You know, now if I want to go into the studio, I can. I can do
Yeah.
it outside.
Yeah.
Back then, let me get that computer just this direction. And I sometimes have to hold the camera up or I have to like put like, something underneath it to make it the same spot. Man, what? Yeah, it's been yeah.
So it's been a whole journey,
Man, it's been a complete journey. And the thing is, the
bro.
journey's still going because
Yeah.
once you hire people, your revenue might slightly go up, but your profits go down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I got to go and get all the revenue that I,
Like,
lost trying
yeah.
to
Yeah.
hire people, train people. Training takes time, money, and energy.
Yeah.
So I've the last 18 months, I've just been trying to make sure I build my team.
Yeah.
Money, no. Money ain't been great.
Yeah.
It's my team is built, my
Yeah.
foundation is built, so
Yeah.
business is thriving because now I have a team. But now I got to go and get the revenue again. Business is like this
Yeah. It's an oscillation. Yeah.
every day. One day you feel like you're a baller, you could do whatever you want.
The
The
next
next day you
day,
feel like, man,
you
life
can
is
barely.
over.
Yeah.
I might as well just go to jail or die. Like what? And it could be the same day sometimes.
Yeah.
So you just gotta not have too many emotions with the ups or too many emotions with the downs.
Yeah.
Just stay focused on the goal. And hey, one day you make 100,000 US, the next day you make zero, and you just have to just be like, okay, cool, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You take losses. I've taken losses. My clothing line, I had just purchased all my clothes
Mm-hmm.
at about $10,000 US of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Inventory gone in one day, so
Damn.
I got to figure out how to get that back. Um, hey, it happens. My life, I'm still alive. I'm still good. I'm blessed. I'm
Yeah.
grateful to God.
Yeah.
But hey, you take losses. You take losses. It happens. You just got to keep going. I failed two of the first CPA exams. You just keep going. You just don't quit.
You mean life has been a learning curve all through for you?
Every day, I'm still learning Swahili. Uh,
So,
every day is a learning journey. I'm asking how certain words.
yeah.
Every day, I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
To think I know everything would be insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane.
Hey, damn, CJ.
I
Damn. Damn. Um, Hearing about your journey, and now that you've talked of structure, you've brought in the aspect of structure because you've told me about building a team. Um, how best can you say you you are prepared when starting out smart guy consult and any smart guy taxes?
think you jump before you're prepared.
Okay.
I think you have a vision and you go for it, and then as you're working towards it,
Yeah.
you start figuring out how it's going to work out.
Okay.
When I left my corporate job, I had no idea I'd be doing smart guy taxes, consulting,
Yeah.
communications
Yeah.
in East Africa. I had zero knowledge that was going to happen. That wasn't the vision. The simple vision was to connect like-minded people together,
Mm-hmm.
and to get my CPA license and to educate my community on all the stuff that I learned
Yeah.
and have my own firm, which all those happened, but the way that it happened, I would have had no idea, zero idea. You can't just be prepared and you just got to go. You just got to go. Now, some things you got to think about. Um, what is your risk tolerance?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to some people about how I was sleeping on the floor, didn't have an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
eating croutons,
Mm.
and some are like, oh, I don't want to go through all that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, either A, you don't want it bad enough,
Yeah.
or B, then maybe you need to work a corporate job, have your business at the same time,
Yeah.
and then as soon as you're done with your business, move that. As soon as you're done with the corporate, move that into your business.
Yeah.
Some people like that. Me, I was like, no, it's time to go, and I just go. I didn't have anything prepared out here in Kenya when I left. I just said, hey, I like it there. I have enough to build off of. I have a Bitcoin community, a running community, a salsa community. Let's go. Let's go. And you just do it.
So for you, ready is more of a mindset. It's not even a feeling.
It's all mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can never be too ready.
Yeah.
If you ever gone skydiving, a lot of times they'll count to three, but they'll make you jump off two because they know if you go three, you're going tense up and you're
Yeah.
not going to
Yeah.
go. So, like, okay, on the count of three, we're going to go. One,
One, two.
you said three. But I mean, if they said three, you would have been like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. No, you just let go. You just got to go. I've been skydiving. I love skydiving now.
Oh, you've.
If there's anything that I'm scared of, I go do it. And then I'm not scared of it anymore.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I used to be scared of heights, and not no more. You die, you die. You die, you die. It's that simple. Nothing to be scared of.
Hey, CJ, I wish you could go on forever on this stream, but allow me to ask you my last question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then we'll wind up. I've heard you talk about Black Bitcoin billionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, can you give me a brief, can I say, history and the impact it has brought to your life
Yeah.
and both in America?
It was huge.
Yeah, yeah,
So, Black Bitcoin Billionaires was co-founded by Lamar Wilson
yeah,
and Isaiah Jackson.
yeah,
Lamar Wilson, I've been paying attention to him
yeah.
since 2017. He had something called Coinder, which was like an educational Bitcoin streaming thing that he was doing on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar is actually the first one to have a Bitcoin app on the Apple Wallet. Like he had a in the App Store, the Apple App Store, he had a
Yeah.
Bitcoin wallet. He was the very first person to do that.
Damn.
So he's a developer. He's been in space early,
Mm-hmm.
and so he linked up with Isaiah Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They created the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh wow, that's awesome!"
Mm-hmm.
And so I ordered the book Bitcoin in Black America by Isaiah Jackson, and it gave a directory of all these black people who were in the space. And when I first got into it, I thought I was like the only one.
Yeah.
And so when I saw this, I was like, oh wow. And so I followed everybody on social media,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, everything.
Mm.
And then Black Bitcoin Billionaires turned into a platform on Clubhouse. So during COVID, when everybody was inside, uh, Clubhouse was like a digital audio platform. And with the information I brought being a CPA,
Yeah.
um, and the tax world, they valued me. So I finally brought my value to Lamar.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was great. And so that led me to traveling the country with Najee Roberts, who was also a part of that. Um, but I think in this current moment,
Yeah.
a lot of people are asking me about Isaiah. A
Yeah.
lot of people are asking about Isaiah. A lot of people that from that original time period, whether it's Justin Redrick or
Mm-hmm.
whether it's King from the Gentleman of Crypto,
Yeah.
they seem to be distancing themselves from Isaiah. Why? Not quite sure on all the back end,
Mm-hmm.
but what I do know for sure is I bought the second book, Bitcoin Black America 2,
Yeah.
which he dedicated towards Nipsey Hussle
Mm-hmm.
right after Nipsey had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought the book, but none of us received the book. And he's gone on multiple YouTube channels
Yeah.
saying that it's on his way.
Okay.
And so I don't know the backstory of all this, but what I'm gonna say it to the camera,
Yeah.
like Isaiah, let's talk, because what you cannot do is create a book in the name of Nipsey Hussle and then not provide the book and act as a scammer
Yeah.
because you provided so much value in my life, whether it's Black Bitcoin Billionaires or whether it's uh, Bitcoin in Black America, and then be a scammer. It doesn't feel right. I've always considered you as a brother.
Mm-hmm.
I really could care less about my money that I spent. However, you've got to explain what's going on with this book. I mean, you've got to explain why you've gone ghost on everybody. I definitely understand uh, Black Bitcoin billionaires did that really well, and the SEC started investigating. And I know that probably created a lot of emotions. But at the end of the day, we need our book. We said it was coming, even if it's a digital book. We need our book because you dedicated Nipsey Hussle's name,
Yeah.
and I brought a lot of people to that. And I can't have all my Nipsey Hussle fans like looking at this like, hey, are you a part of the scammers crew?
Yeah.
So Isaiah, if you're hearing this, Bitcoin Zay, we need to talk, bro. We need to talk. We need to have a public talk and just give people their book,
Yeah.
even if it's digital. We understand if you couldn't release it in actual book form, but we need to have that conversation.
All right. um, what role do you see Bitcoin playing in creating the next generation of black Bitcoin billionaires?
I believe that we're going through something called mercantilism,
Okay.
which the last time mercantilism happened was in the 1400s,
Okay.
and that was when Europe
Mm-hmm.
switched the value from from silver being the standard to gold.
Mm-hmm.
Europe had a lot of the silver,
Yeah.
Africa had all the gold,
Yeah.
and so for them to switch silver from being the standard to gold, it incentivized Europeans to come into Africa.
Yeah.
And so now we are having digital, like you said, digital gold,
Digital gold. Yeah.
and that's now the new value.
Yeah.
And because Bitcoin is made through energy,
Mm-hmm.
people are now trying to go to those energy sources as much as possible, and they recognize that Africa has a whole lot of resources, which they've always known, but now it's influencing them to come in a major way. And so I think the last time is what created slavery. A lot of Black Americans, we came from Africa, went over there, did the work, produced the most powerful financial government in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But Black Americans, for the most part, didn't get a chance to actually feel that. I mean, in 2026, you have a few that are doing well, but for the most part, we don't own the greatness of America for the most part. And so, for the first time since then, we have a change in financial system, and Black people, African people, we all have the ability to own the asset, because if you own your private keys, you actually own the asset. This is the biggest wealth transfer since we were the wealth transfer. So now we have the ability to own it. And so I recommend everybody trying to stack up, at least just saving Bitcoin, because once mercantilism starts becoming apparent to the world and we can start really seeing what's going on,
Okay.
it's too late. You want to make sure that you own it now and you're prepared for it. Because if all of a sudden fiat currency goes away and we're all in a central bank digital currency,
Yeah.
and they decide to make a rule that, hey, if your skin is a certain tone, your hour is only worth a certain amount,
Yeah.
what's what's to stop them from doing that? They already called us three-fifths of a man,
Yeah.
so why wouldn't they do something like that later on down the road? And so Bitcoin gives the ability to have freedom to transact peer to peer.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the monetary value,
Mm-hmm.
the freedom to be able to transact. And all I'm saying is, hey, if I'm here in Kenya, just check off freedom first before you think about getting rich, because you can get rich,
But you're
go to
not free.
jail,
Yeah.
and you don't got freedom.
Yeah.
Check off freedom first.
That's powerful. That's so powerful. Freedom first.
Freedom first.
That's so powerful. Um, I think I was going to ask you another question of what can I say mindset will turn that vision into reality, but if you've said freedom, that summarizes it all. As we wind up now, the future of money
Yeah,
in Kenya and beyond.
yeah.
Um, how should regular people prepare? Like the guys who haven't heard of Bitcoin, let's say. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for guys who have heard of Bitcoin, they'll know they're continuing to learn and they'll know what and what not to do.
Yeah,
What of guys who haven't heard of Bitcoin,
yeah.
but we as Bitcoiners are seeing it as the future? What can you tell them?
Uh,
What can you say about it?
Pay attention to the world
Mm-hmm.
and really understand what's valuable.
Okay.
Family, that's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends, valuable. Your time, valuable. And then you can look at tangible things. Land,
Mm-hmm.
that's valuable. Bitcoin is now in that category.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, oil,
Mm-hmm.
that's in those categories.
Yeah.
And then with the tangible assets, what can you actually own? Because it might be hard to own oil.
Yeah.
It
True.
might be hard to
Own
own a bunch of
gold.
gold,
Yeah.
but Bitcoin is a lot easier.
True. Yeah.
Um,
True.
but you also have to understand what's valuable. And like I know out here, a lot of times we have these debates about is are guns valuable? And I've always taken the side that hey, if Africans had the guns, there would have never been no Black American slaves.
Yeah.
But because y'all don't own guns, we got taken. What you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in guns.
Mm-hmm.
Now I definitely recognize that if too many people have guns, emotions get out and random people get killed.
Yeah.
But what's the cost of freedom? I'm gonna own a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make, so to me a gun is valuable. And if you don't have it, do you have a humanoid robot? Because
Mm-hmm.
to me the new gun is the humanoid robot.
Yeah.
Because now Elon Musk can spend $500 billion, create a humanoid robot army, and kill everybody in the entire country, and say, okay, now my people can move there.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do about it if you don't have any way to protect yourself? So to me, what's valuable? And to me, humanoid robots are on the same level as
As
Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
in terms of what's the new value.
Damn. I never quite looked at it that way.
Because you're not a colonizer.
Yeah. uh, yeah. Yeah. But damn. Damn, that's that's something to look at.
Hey, we live amongst ours every single day.
Yeah, that's
You guys
something
live
to
amongst
really
yours from
look
a
at.
distance. We see them every day, so I know how they operate. I know what they're doing. So when I come here, I might sound crazy, but
Yeah.
if you think about it, after a while, you're like,
That's a food
oh,
for thought, man.
yeah.
That's a very interesting food for thought.
And that's why Nipsey was trying to connect Black Americans to Africa because we see it, but you
Mm-hmm.
guys are a lot more healed than us.
Yeah.
So if you can connect the two, we can grow exponentially.
Yeah. Um, the last bit now that we have come to the end of our session. What's one thing in the, can I say, the crypto space, or the crypto and Bitcoin space that is not being talked about that you would wish it would be talked about more?
Huh. It takes about 8 years for Bitcoin to change your life.
Okay.
And once it happens,
Mm-hmm.
who are you? Who are you? Well, the example I give is you have a lot of alcoholics out here,
Mm-hmm.
but if they're poor, they can only buy enough alcohol until the next day
Yeah.
because they can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
You give them $1 million, and a lot of them will drink themselves and they'll poison themselves and die.
Yeah.
So if you get Bitcoin, all of a sudden your financial situation changes.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the discipline, who does that make you? Does the oppressed then become the oppressor? Does the oppressed then, you know, have self-destructive behaviors where they want to kill themselves, self-destruct?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's your mindset? What's your spiritual strength? Because in being in this Bitcoin space for 8 years, whether you're if you're saving, you're networking, you're studying,
Mm-hmm.
8 years is going to change your life. But once it changes your life, who are you? And I don't think most people talk about that. I've seen people in this space go from being broke to rich, and they become drug addicts, and then they're a slave to alcohol or a slave to a drug. And it's like, man, you were better off just being poor.
What?
So who are you? I don't think anybody really talks about, once you make it, like, who are you? And that's why I humble myself everywhere I go. I've seen the people get rich and kill themselves, or
Mm-hmm.
seen them get rich, they change up on their friends,
Mm-hmm.
change up on their family. So for me, it's like, let me stay humble proactively and make sure that I'm consistently around people who are better than me, so that I never feel like,
You
I'm
can.
rich, I'm the man, you do what
Yeah.
I tell. I don't want to ever feel like that.
Yeah.
So I have to always surround myself around people that I admire, that are better than me in certain things, speaking 3 languages, running four km pace. Look, I can't be out here bragging
Yeah.
if I'm way behind everybody already. I can't brag if you speaking 3 languages you can speak in front of me and I don't know what you're saying. Like, I can't be
Yeah.
arrogant. So I consistently try to humble myself like that. But everybody's different. And so I don't think it gets talked enough about, once Bitcoin changes your life, who are you?
Very wise words from the smart guy. I think that's why you're called this. You guy, hey. This guy, hey, bro. What? You guys have given me a crash course about life in 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey. You should definitely check out a Smart Guy Communications. I'll definitely put the link in the description. Now, quick fire questions. Since you've been to Kenya, how long have you been in Kenya right now?
So I got here December 2024,
Mhm.
but then I traveled the world most of 2025.
Mhm.
So officially about 6 months, but I mean anywhere between 6 to 18 is correct.
So 6 months. What's your favorite food so far?
Mbuzi.
Mbuzi. You
Nyama
had
mbuzi na kachumbari na ugali kwa pili pili.
very nice. I
That's
think
goat meat with ugali. I don't even know how. I don't think
ugali
ugali.
is just ugali.
Yeah,
Ugali is corn.
yeah,
Is processed corn
yeah.
flour. Yeah.
With the peppers inside some tomato vegetables.
Yeah.
Just because people are like, "What's kachumbari?"
Hey, what's one thing about Nairobi that you'd if you were to change, you would change?
Hmm. I don't think I want to change anything until I fully understood what's going on.
Yeah,
There's things that I question,
yeah.
but I don't want to change it because I
Okay,
don't understand it.
okay.
I'll say one, infrastructure.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't quite understand how you can walk down the roads. There's no lights out, and you're walking on rocks everywhere you go. Um, I don't quite understand that, but I also recognize that when you change that, prices for things go up,
Yeah,
and some of the people that live there actually might have to move away
yeah.
because they can no longer afford that area. So I don't want to change anything until I citizenship. Maybe I don't want to change anything. But I citizenship. Maybe I don't want to change anything. But right now, I wouldn't change. I don't know enough yet.
The best way to support what you're doing right now, if
Oh,
someone wants to support you.
oh man, look, check out CJ The SmartGuy on all major platforms. No extra spaces, letters, numbers. Those are pages. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out. And whenever publicly speaking, like at the Bitcoin Nairobi conference, just come through, ask some questions, get involved in the network. But the best way to support me is to make yourself valuable. Just like I made myself valuable with Mars, I made myself valuable with HC, just like I made myself valuable with Dr. Boyce Watkins. Make yourself valuable. So then when we meet, I can just bring you along on the journey instead of you asking, hey, can you do this for me?
Yeah,
Everybody's asking for something, but if you can provide something,
yeah,
now it's easier to talk. So that's the best way to support me is make yourself great, and then we can walk on this journey together.
yeah. That's what's up. I won't add on to what he has already said. I myself want to also go and rewatch this episode again and again because, hey, these guys, the knowledge that you have, I definitely want to do this again.
For sure.
Thank you, man, for your time,
Yeah,
CJ.
yeah.
I love the shirt.
I appreciate you.
Is this Amharic or what's this
Yeah,
language?
I got this from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, yeah.
So the Fidels, the letters, Amharic and Arabic, they use the same Fidels,
Yeah,
but they're very different.
okay.
So like this can be considered either one because the letters are the same.
Yeah, but it's a really nice shirt.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Yeah, that was 60 minutes with CJ and I. And I'll see you guys on another session. CJ, I hope to have you on again
Oh,
soon,
for sure.
man. Hey, I really like the way you dispense knowledge. This guy, man.
Appreciate you for having me on. Man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And that's a wrap. I'll see you guys. Yeah, I think we're done, CJ. Thanks, man.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.